From NBC 5, this is the NBC 5 News at 5.
Thanks to see it. A suburban man who overcame incredible odds is now facing an impossible choice. Does he go back into the hospital for defective hips, even though that may cost him the ability to ever walk again? NBC 5's Charlie Wojciechowski has his story. Charlie?
Well, Rob, you may recognize the man we're talking about, Mark Stephan. He came back from a horrendous bike accident that severed his spine, not only to walk, but even climb the stairs of the Willis Tower. Well, now he's facing another health crisis, a defective hip implant that could take away everything he's worked so hard to get back.
And then there was 51-year-old Mark Stephan.
His remarkable recovery was chronicled on the Today Show. How Mark Stephan's hard work allowed him to walk again after a 2007 bike accident that left the Winnetka man a quadriplegic. He struggled through years of painful rehabilitation, even climbed the stairs of the Willis Tower. Now he may lose it all again because of a defective hip implant.
And the reason, Charlie, it makes me so angry is no person has worked really as hard as I have who had been in a compromised situation to get something back.
Stryke is the company that made the artificial hip Mark had implanted in 2011, a product that was recalled because it started to corrode once it was installed.
The flaw in the product is that it combines two incompatible metals, which, when they're introduced to the body, lead to corrosion, and the corrosion leads to metal leaching in to the patient's bloodstream.
Now Mark and his attorneys are filing suit, alleging the company failed to test its products adequately before offering them for sale.
What makes me angry is to have seen him fight as hard as he's fought over these many years, to now be put back into this situation by a company that makes millions of dollars selling these products to people that haven't been properly vetted.
Now, after completing a 3,000-mile cross-country bike trip to benefit the Rehab Institute, Mark faces an impossible choice: go through a painful and debilitating surgery to replace the implant, or leave it in and risk certain liver and kidney damage.
Stryke recalled the device that was faulty, and that darn device is in my body.
We have reached out to Stryke for comment on this lawsuit, but we've yet to hear back from the company. Allison.
We're curious, why is it so difficult to replace an artificial hip?
Because bone grows around this artificial hip once it's installed, and they have to go in, break apart that bone, take out the implant, then put another one in, put everything back together, screw it together, and hope it all doesn't create a problem.
Painful.
He is
very, very
through
painful.
so much, it's unbelievable. Is this case unique?
In his circumstance, yes, it is, but there are a number of other lawsuits involving artificial hips. Another company, Dupree, also had a recall of their hips. So it was a common thing. It's a metal-on-metal hip. And when that happens, metals can be incompatible and release things into the body, which then start corrosion.
Thanks, Charlie.
Thank you, Charlie. Chicago's police superintendent says his